It's time for an update of my $10,000 YouTube challenge portfolio. As a reminder, this is a challenge to myself, and my goal is to beat the performance of the S&P 500 in 2026. So I've been slowly building out my positions. The rules are no ETFs and a max of 10 stocks. I'm focusing on profitable companies with strong growth potential, and I'm trying to minimize the risk in speculative or unprofitable stocks and companies. I may hold one or two, we shall see. And most importantly, don't lose money. We don't want to lose money. So follow along as I continue building out my positions and track my progress and share my insights along the way. The goal is to share information and help you guys in your investing journeys. And as I say that, a reminder, this is not financial advice. I'm not professional. I don't know what I'm doing. This is purely for entertainment purposes. So let's get right into the portfolio. Okay, so here's how things stand currently. I did purchase almost $1,300 worth of stocks today. So about 5,000 of my $10,000 cash has been deployed. We have AMD, Shopify, Duolingo, Hims, Chipotle, Amazon, and Nike. So as you can see, the companies highlighted in yellow are the companies I added to today. I have added to Amazon after that big breakout. I held a few shares before the big OpenAI news was published, and then I've bought 2 shares after that, and we can go over why in a second. Shopify, great e-commerce platform. I use that for my sports supplement company website. Duolingo is a language and learning app. I think it has great potential based on the financials of the company. Hims is a telehealth provider providing both over-the-counter and prescription medications. Chipotle, burritos, bowls, delicious. I had Chipotle twice the other week. Super good. I feel like this stock is beaten down a lot and has great growth potential. Amazon is a juggernaut of a company. It has so many different sectors. It does compete with Shopify in the e-commerce, and it actually does compete with Hims for prescription drugs as well as over-the-counter drugs. So we will be interesting to see how that plays out. Then we have Nike. Nike is a legacy brand, sports apparel. Nike has been beaten down a lot over the past year or so, but I feel like Nike will be a big turnaround play in the years to come. So let's jump into these stocks. Let's start off with the most exciting one, AMD. So I have the Bollinger Bands up. I don't typically use Bollinger Bands a lot. I just recently started using them. And basically, the thought process behind Bollinger Bands is this is 2 standard deviations above the median, 2 standard deviations below the median. Typically, it's going to go in this range. Now, in instances where there's strong impulses, you will see, this is on the weekly chart too, the Bollinger Bands start to expand. During more controlled phases, you'll see they're pretty close and it's in this range. During big breakout, maybe explosive growth phases, you'll see these bands right here expand. And Shopify or AMD went all the way up to the previous all-time high at around 227, and then back down to about the 886 mark. And you know that Fibonacci retracement, we took the swing high to the swing low. As the company starts to regain its momentum, we've been seeing a trend. It's going to hit all these marks and respect all these marks. And typically, once a company gets past the 886, it will retest all-time highs, and then it could be off to the races to these higher Fibonacci extensions. We saw with AMD, it blasted right through that 886 and did not touch it. So, logical sense would be to come back down here to retest it, which it basically did. It didn't quite get down that low, but I did buy around 205, and then I added another share today. So as of today, AMD is up about 11%. It is now past the previous all-time high, and it is making a new all-time high, which leads us to believe these Fibonacci extension targets are now in play. AMD is currently 234, first target being 305. When a company breaks the previous all-time high, it enters into the price discovery phase. So this is why these newer targets can be hit. So AMD is still looking very strong. The fact that it came down here and basically backtested the 886 is great. It had that super big increase of like 30% in the one day. It retraced all the way back down to almost 886, and now it is back up. I'm gonna go on a daily chart real quick so we can see this better. So here's that big, it went from 170, got all the way up to about 227, went back down to almost 200. It got to about 203, and now it is off. So AMD is still looking strong. I would not be afraid to buy here. I did buy here. I added a share today in both my Roth and my YouTube portfolio, actually. So looking very strong. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon is an interesting play. I'm going to take off the Bollinger Bands. Let's take off the RSI too. And let's look at the moving averages. Oops. So if we look at the daily chart, we see that Amazon has been finding support right on that 100-day moving average, and it is right in between the 0.786 and 886. It has yet to retest all-time highs. Amazon is a super strong company. They are expanding in many sectors. There is no way Amazon is not going to retest all-time highs and then aim for these upper targets again. So I do feel like right now is a good spot to accumulate. I added, as you can see in my YouTube portfolio this morning, I didn't realize Amazon's up 2%. I think it was down a little bit when I added. But Amazon found support right at that 786. So the next logical target is that 886, and we shall see what happens. But Amazon just moved above the 50-day moving average. Again, found support at the 786. Amazon looks really good right now. I do think it is a good time to even start a position. Again, not financial advice, just what I think. So we did add to Amazon today. Shopify. Shopify is up 2.5%. So Shopify, as you can see here, it found support on the 886 right at the 50-day moving average and is moving up. It is currently working towards those previous all-time highs of 176. So we will see how price action moves. If Shopify can retest this all-time high, these upper targets are then in action, then are a possibility. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands at this one, because I don't remember if I looked at that. So same thing, this is the daily chart, but we can see, let me move these, we can see these bands starting to expand. So let's look at the weekly chart. Same thing, it's right at the top of these Bollinger Bands. So Shopify is still looking bullish. We are looking for it to retest that all-time high, and then we shall see what happens. But Shopify is still looking good too. Now, Duolingo is up 8% today. I don't know if there was news. I'm not sure if there's news on Duolingo. That's a pretty big move on this stock. So Duolingo is now above the 50 weekly average. Let's look at the daily chart. Okay, so this is where it looks interesting. The 50 moving average on the daily chart is below both the 100 and 200, which is typically bearish. And we see that Duolingo has moved right up to those numbers, or those moving averages. So I'm guessing it's going to start to find a little bit of resistance. And after a big 8% move, that is not out of the question either. But Duolingo is, we'll see if this is the bottom. Duolingo is moving up. Let's look at the Bollinger Bands. So it was right at the top of the Bollinger Bands on the daily. We see it here is at the bottom. Found support at the median. I mean, Duolingo's looking good as well, so we have to see what happens here. HIMS is the only stock that's in the red today. So HIMS, it's found support right on that 786. It reached the top of the Bollinger Band, went down. So HIMS is still looking bullish. Let's look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart, we see that it found support on that median. Again, it's currently above that 786. So we're kind of watching it. See where price action goes. I know HIMS is expanding. They're either building or building out one of their peptide facilities. I feel like HIMS is going to have a lot of different advancements. I think they're also releasing the women's HRT this week. So big advancements in HMD. The previous all-time high is 72.80, 72.98. It has to work its way up to the 64 and then retest that all-time high, and then it'll work towards these upper targets. But I mean, pretty much most things in the market are looking bullish. So I don't feel like HIMS is any different. Chipotle. Man, see, Chipotle got above this 618 retracement. I wanted to see it stay above. It's currently working its way below it. The median of the weekly Bollinger Band is going down. These bands, the upper and lower bands, are going down. That's not a great look for Chipotle, to be honest. That being said, on the daily chart, we are currently above the median with a long wick. Looks like the Bollinger Bands are starting to expand. We are below the 50, 100, and 200 moving day averages. So Chipotle is not in the clear yet. The stock is not looking overly strong. We do see the Bollinger Band expansions though. So maybe a short-term move up is in order. We need to keep watching this one. As I said previously, I was hoping that the stock stayed above this 618 of 41.24, but it did dip back down below. We will see what happens. This one is still being watched. I have not added to Chipotle that much. I think it's my smallest holding in the portfolio. And then we have Nike. This is the daily Bollinger Bands. They are pointing down. It is getting close to the bottom. Currently under the 50, 100, and 200 moving day averages. So again, Nike is not in a strong spot either. Let's look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart is more of the same, below the 50, 100, 200 moving averages on the weekly chart, below the median line on the Bollinger Band. So Nike is not in the clear either. We will be watching this stock. But Nike went down so much. This is in log view. I'll go to linear view. Let me remove this Bollinger Bands. I mean, look how much Nike stock went down. From 179 all the way down to 52. Huge decrease, and it's starting to go back up. We will see if Nike can regain some of its dominance in the market. As I said, it is below the 50, 100, and 200 moving averages on the weekly chart, so it is not in the clear yet. It could definitely still go down lower, so we'll be watching that. But those are the stocks in my portfolio and what I've been buying. As we see here, AMD is already up 28%, I think it says. Shopify is up 7%. Duolingo is up 5%. HIMS up 3%. Chipotle up almost 3%. Amazon up almost 3%. Nike is down 3%. So I started this portfolio about 3 weeks ago and I'm already up almost 9%, which is very strong for 3 weeks. So far, everything's looking good. Obviously, the chunk of those gains are from AMD, but we still have some room to deploy some cash and maybe add a couple positions. I am looking at a couple stocks. Actually, let's look at those. So I have my watch list. IREN, man, this one I just don't know about. This is one of those AI cloud stocks. It has been up so much. It's gone up so much I'm afraid to buy right now. Man, actually a lot of these are going up to, oh my goodness. Celsius, I was thinking about. Celsius, this might be a good point. If it breaks up past this, Elf Beauty is one I was considering as having a strong day. Robinhood, man, I do want to get in the stock, but I'm waiting for it to go down. It just has gone up so much. Oh, a very big green day in the market today. So we will continue watching. I do want to add another position or two into this portfolio. So let me know if you guys have any suggestions. I am looking at either IREN or NBIS is my cloud AI play as more of the speculative risk stock. I do think I will allow myself one of those positions because it does have a greater upside, but I do want to keep this portfolio pretty safe. I don't want to lose money. That is the goal. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys picked up something with the technical analysis that can help you in your investing journey. Again, do your own research. This is just purely for entertainment purposes, but let's keep following along in my journey. Let's see what I can do over the next year. Again, I'm doing this portfolio as a challenge to myself, and making these videos helps keep me accountable. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Let's keep building these portfolios.